Welcome back, Mr. Goodberry. The First Star Logistics studio is fully equipped and ready to record.
The Bengals lose to the Baltimore Ravens 34-20, dropping their season to 5-5. But that's not the worst news. Joe Burrow may be out for a while now. We're waiting on reports as I'm recording this now. It's about 1 a.m. after the game. And so far, the reports that we have are that it could potentially be a wrist sprain, with Twitter doctors, for what they're worth, experts in their field, I'm assuming, saying 4 to 6 weeks. Some saying best case scenario is 2 weeks. We'll see how that goes then. This is Bengals on the Brain. I'm Joe Goodberry. The show is brought to you by First Star Logistics, our great partners here that are giving away tons of things all the time. If you're looking right now, it closed already an hour ago, midnight. So if you're looking for the gumball machine, the popcorn machine, wondering if you're winning, I'm not announcing that right now, but it's probably by the time this is aired, not sure here. Kind of just speaking off the top of my head here, late at night. I'll get through this. I assume it'll be announced sometime on Twitter by the time you've seen this. Anyway, getting to the game, we're going to go over the game a little bit, go over the injury a little bit. Looks like somebody got benched. Looks like a starter has been benched on the defense. And then, lastly, if Burrow is out, what are we watching for? So now I don't have film yet. As I said, the game just ended a little bit ago. So it's more of a discussion, recap of the game, and what we know so far of the injury. Joe Burrow left M&T Bank Stadium. I think that's what it is, right? Off the top of my head here. Ravens Stadium? I think it is. Doesn't matter. Left Baltimore with looked like a black, some type of brace, and then maybe white wrap over it. Speculating here, but it's what it did look like. And there's some post-game lip reading going on. Looks like he's saying to Patrick Queen, I think I'll be all right. We'll see. Other sideline lip reading of I heard a pop or felt a pop. You can definitely see the pop when he says that. That's not good. So I'm assuming he went for the x-rays after he was injured. X-rays were negative, no broken wrist. And then it turned into, well, we need MRIs and imaging and see what the extent of the internal damage is and the ligament damage, which is how you get a sprain. We'll see then. We'll wait, and maybe by the time you're watching this, there's already a concrete report or a better report from what we have right now. So until we know, I won't speculate any further, but it could be that the season is on the brink of being done. Very much similar to the Browns. So karma is funny that way. The game, though, I did think the Bengals had a chance to win this. After the first drive, the Ravens went right down the field. I'm thinking, it's not going to be the defense's day. And now they end up giving 34 points, but clearly the situation changed when Burrow went down. That first drive, Ravens take 5 minutes off the clock. Mark Andrews goes down, and I'm like, okay, well, that's going to affect them, clearly. They end up scoring. Bengals drive down, get a field goal, get stopped on 3rd and 7, I want to say it was, kicked a 50-yard field goal, but it didn't look right. Burrow hadn't solved the Mike McDonald defense disguises just yet. They end up, followed the 3rd drive for the offense. They ended up figuring it out and pushing the ball and getting it down there. They missed the field goal, but then they lean on Joe Mixon on the following drive. Burrow's able to extend some plays. He's able to get the ball out over the middle. And they move all the way down the field and score a touchdown, and that's when the Burrow wrist thing happens. First, a pass to Mixon. He gets tackled by Clowney. Looks like the wrist hit the ground and bent backwards. And then the next play, he goes and throws it to Mixon in the flats and grabs his wrist and drops. And you can see he's in visible pain, screaming, upset, goes to the sideline, tries to grip the ball and lift it and drops it right away. So that's not good. The defense in that time frame from the first drive to this point playing very well. Corralling Lamar. It looked like Logan Wilson also tackled Lamar on the sideline and limited him with an ankle injury. So he wasn't as effective escaping. It's still pretty effective, but not, MVP Lamar. And he fell a few times trying to break the pocket, things like that. Bengals got to him. Bengals forced him to throw some deep balls, keep him at bay, at best, make those a 30% completion type deep ball. And they were successful with it. And then a lot of weird penalties happen. And the officiating, we got to talk about the officiating a little bit more. Again, I don't want to. I hate talking about the officiating, but this was crazy. Some of these pass interferences. Again, I think the root cause of a lot of these weird calls are that refs aren't actually seeing the whole picture. They are seeing something that may look like a hold. They're seeing something that may look like pass interference. They see a bump or something happen, and then combined with an errant pass, and they go, "Oh, it must be pass interference. He must have grabbed him." We get the opportunity to watch in 4K slow motion, and you can say, "Oh, he didn't grab him. He actually didn't alter him at all." You're allowed to put your hand on other players. That's football. Hands go on guys on almost every single player going one on one. Hands are going to go on them. That's how you play football. As long as I'm not grabbing, redirecting, pushing, pulling, in or getting in your way of going up and getting a pass, especially on these defensive pass interference calls, specifically those, then they shouldn't be called. And it's super inconsistent because the same plays happened on the Ravens side and they weren't called. And then there were some that were called. And it just was, no one wants to see you or hear from you guys. The refs we're not there to watch you. And I'm done talking about them because it doesn't, if Burrow's out for an extended time, it doesn't matter anymore. What is this show going to look like? What will my Twitter account look like? It will be an evaluation process. Less X's and O's, less complaints about the coaching staffs and what they need to do and game management, because all that kind of goes out of the window. Because your playbook is different with Jake Browning. Your game management decision making is different without Jake Browning. I thought him punting on 4th and 3, their final possession of the second quarter, lost you the game. And people are like, "That's Jake Browning. You got to punt it and play defense." No, you need to steal the game. And I'm not making, if you thought they should have punted it too, I'm not making fun of you. I just use that voice because it's fine to think that way. My thoughts are, and this is, again, we're going to judge coaching differently here. My thoughts are, you already have Browning in the game. You need to steal this from the Ravens. You have a chance to end the first half with the ball, potentially scoring, and then get the ball first in the third quarter. That is how you steal a game. You don't steal a game by already being down and punting the ball to the Ravens while your defense is giving up the most explosive plays in the entire NFL. So in my opinion, that's, you have to remain aggressive. If you play conservative with a leaky defense and a backup quarterback, you're going to lose a lot of games. It's just, do we not watch the league? That's how you lose games. So getting back to it, what will this show look like? It'll be focused more on player evaluation. We'll start to put the microscope on Cordell Volson. Is he getting better? Is this a future starter, long-term starter? Is he starting next year? We'll put the microscope on Charlie Jones, Andre Yoshivas. We'll put the microscope on Chase Brown when he gets back, on Tanner Hudson. Any of these young guys that we need to know, do they need increased roles? Do they need to play more? Can they be starters next year? Chase Brown, right? Charlie Jones. On defense, same thing. Is Miles Murphy getting better? Is Joseph Osai getting some of his burst back? I thought he did this week. I thought there was a chance he looked like he could be turning the corner. What does DJ Turner look like? How is his rookie year going? Is it getting better? Is it getting worse? Is it hitting a wall? What? It's not just how good is a guy playing A, B, C, 90, 80, whatever numbers and letter grades and however you want to do. It's what can this guy do? What does he offer? Is Zach Carter getting better? Is Dax Hill getting better? Is Jordan Battle getting better? Which brings us to the next point. After that first drive where it looks like Nick Scott was coming down really fast and missed and whiffed on Mark Andrews. And then that's when Logan Wilson hit Andrews and kind of hip dropped him. I think the hip drop is kind of an accident. If you watch the replay, uh, Andrews cuts up, and this guy, the fist, is Logan Wilson. The way he hits him with a shoulder, and they kind of bounce off, and then he just falls into Andrews. But it's also the reason why they'd like to get rid of that play, because people are getting hurt, getting rid of that tackle when you're tackling guys from behind. But after that, we didn't see Nick Scott much more. I did see him run off the field twice. They got a penalty for 12 men, and then the other one did get off in time. But it was Jordan Battle for the rest of the game. And Battle looked good. He was playing fast. He was playing aggressive. And those are things I talked about. He's slow. We know he's not a great athlete. He needs to play fast mentally and with aggression. And he did. I thought he did. We didn't get a lot of replays on the broadcast. So we'll see if that's the case on tape. But on live broadcast from our angle, I thought he tackled really well. I thought he was physical. I thought he read the run and reacted very fast. In my opinion, Jordan Battle's the starter next to Dak Silva for the rest of the year. Can't count on Nick Scott. Too many mistakes. Lou, the few times they panned over to Lou on the sideline, he's losing his mind. And I'm like, yes, right. We're all frustrated too. So getting Jordan Battle out there is nice. Getting DJ Turner the full trial by fire, I think is a good thing. I thought that pass interference on him was complete bogus. I thought Logan Wilson, people are gonna have issues with some of his tackles, and because 3 guys got hurt, it's random. He crushed Odell Beckham Jr. That's not random. He hawked him down while Odell's trying to run back and forth and absolutely crushed that dude. Can't be mad at that. I thought he had a good game. We'll have to see on tape, but we'll watch the tape. That'll be next week's Tuesday episode. We've got 10 days now to review this game and the situation and what's going on. And again, if Burrow's out, we're going to zoom in on players more than X's and O's. There'll be much less of that. Could be frustrating. A lot of people will say, well, season's over. We're not going to watch anymore. That's fine. Season's over. Start tanking. That'll be a discussion. I don't know if I'm ready for all that. The tanking and the draft stuff. I don't watch much college football until either one, the season's over, even figuratively, or the season is over and we're in January, February, and I can start focusing on the draft prospects and the draft process, starting with the Senior Bowl in January. We could be there. We could. So the show also could start focusing on some Saturday players, some college players. Who's on our eye? Who's on our radar? Who's catching our eye? Who's on our radar? Who could fit? It could go into, as we're doing the evaluation process, do we keep Tee Higgins? Do you franchise him? If you don't, do you keep Tyler Boyd? Jonah Williams, DJ Reader, Chidobe Awuzie. I mean, even guys that we may already have answers on, it's still part of the discussion and the fun. I mean, because that is the fun if you lose your quarterback. So if you're feeling depressed today, I get it. I'm with you. Let's hope for the best news. Let's hope for some Trey Hendrickson Wolverine powers. Well, shout out to Trey for playing and playing as well as he did. There was one series where he was just, I'm like, Trey Hendrickson. What a player. What a dog. Best free agent signing in Bengals history? Yes. DJ Reader, Trey Hendrickson. It's one of those two. Fun player. Great job again from him. I don't remember where I was going. Oh, we need to give him some of Trey's Wolverine healing powers to Joe Burrow and get him back as fast as possible. And then they're 5-5. Some people are saying even at one conference win, what is it, 1-5? And 0-3 in the division, season's over anyways. I wouldn't agree. Even if Burrow's healthy right now and they're 5-5, I mean, I think they'd be favored against the Vikings, the Colts, probably the Steelers twice. So that'd be 4. 4 games where you're expected to win. That gets you to 9 wins, and then you'd steal one more to get to 10. They'd still have a great shot. So especially with the Browns. They'd probably be favored against the Browns without Watson. So that'd be 5 they'd be favored in. You have a chance for 10 wins and then steal one from the Chiefs or one other big game. Jags. And if you do that, you'd make it. So I wouldn't be out on it just yet. You can see it in my eyes and the pauses, right? This sucks. Didn't want to be here talking about this tonight. But it's late. It's kind of therapeutic to get it all out. Man, it's just not as fun when you have these weapons. And think about the impacts on like Tee Higgins. Tyler Boyd needed, I'd have to look it up, but he was trying to track down TJ Houshmandzadeh to get into whatever place that was, 3rd place, 4th place all time on the Bengals list, 5th place, whatever it is. Meanwhile, Tee Higgins is fighting for a contract and a contract extension and a big payday. And if he ends up with 600 yards and misses 5 games this year, good luck to you, because you're not going to get paid the way you thought you would. Maybe there's a desperate team, but we got another great receiver class coming up, and you're coming off your worst career year. It also means that Lou Anarumo probably doesn't get another job because the defense is going to get aired out all year. It means Brian Callahan and Dan Pitcher probably retained in their roles, unless let go, which I don't think would be a thing. Maybe Frank Pollock gets let go, and they go with a new O-line coach. But again, we got a lot of time for those. Without rambling too much and thinking too much, I hope these are the ideas and these thoughts that are going around in your head as well right now. This has been Bengals on the Brain. I'm Joe Goodberry. The show is brought to you by First Star Logistics. We will have 2 shows next week. Film reviews, player evaluations. We'll find a way to make it fun. Remember, First Star is still giving away stuff. I've got some things I got to give out too. If you look at, now's the time, probably as we get into player evaluation episodes, if you want a Bengals on the Brain player evaluation guide, if you're one of the newer people you're still watching here. I did the outro a minute ago, right? As if we're getting out of here. But First Star told me they still have a box of these. And I put a tweet out for an email address where you can claim one and they'll send it to you. They're free. So find that on Twitter. I think it's gbar at First Star LLC. Dave, hook me up. If you know Grace's email, put it at the bottom for me, will you? Oh, player evaluation guide, though. I'll give you an idea of what we're going to be doing for the next couple months. With that being said, see you next time.
Dave Lapham here, and every day I am grateful for my experience to have played professional football. As a player, I realize self-motivation, leadership, and appreciating your teammates are key. At First Star Logistics, you can use those same attributes to create the life you want for you and your family. Build your future by working hard like I did. You'll see results both on and off the field. Call First Star Logistics today and be part of our winning team.
Opportunity knocking.